Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a really big topic for anyone thinking about Japan long term: permanent residency.
The absolute basics.
Yeah, let's do that. Eligibility. What are the fundamental boxes you need to tick?
Okay. You need to have lived in Japan legally for 10 years straight. 10 consecutive years.
10 years. That's a significant chunk of time. It shows commitment, I guess.
Exactly. It signals a long-term view. And importantly, it's not just any 10 years.
Right. There's a visa condition tied to that.
Correct. Within those 10 years, at least 5 must be under a working visa. One that allows you to be employed, like the specialist in humanities or engineer-type visas.
And that 5-year work visa period is pretty critical for other reasons, too, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's when they're really looking closely at your record. Specifically, things like paying your taxes, your health insurance, and your pension contributions. On time? Every time.
So being a reliable, contributing member of society during that work period makes sense.
It's a big indicator for them, yeah. Responsibility, respecting the system.
Okay, so that's the entry ticket, basically. 10 years, 5 on a work visa, paying your dues. Now, why aim for PR? What are the actual advantages?
Oh, the benefits are pretty substantial. The biggest one, probably the most immediate relief for people, is no more visa renewals.
Ah, freedom from the renewal cycle. That alone sounds amazing. No more gathering documents every 1, 3, or 5 years.
Exactly. PR means continuous residency. You're set, well, mostly. Once every 7 years, you pop into the immigration office. It's not a renewal, just updating your resident card photo.
Yeah.
Because, people age.
Right. Faces change over 7 years. How long does that usually take?
It may be 2 to 3 hours. So really not a huge deal compared to a full visa application.
Definitely a small price to pay. Okay, what else? What other freedoms does PR unlock?
Well, professionally, it's a big change. No more restrictions on your work hours or even the type of work you do. Much more flexibility than most specific work visas.
So you could, switch fields more easily. Or work part-time if you wanted.
Precisely. More control over your career path in Japan.
That's a major plus. And for the entrepreneurial types.
Ah, yes. Starting your own business, your own company. Much, much easier with PR. Fewer administrative hoops to jump through.
Okay, that's a big one too. What about really putting down roots? Buying property.
That's another key advantage. Getting bank loans for a mortgage, the whole process of buying property in Japan becomes significantly more straightforward for PR holders.
Yeah.
Financial institutions see you as a much safer bet, essentially.
Right. So overall, PR equals long-term security, career freedom, easier entrepreneurship, and better access to major life steps like homeownership. Compelling stuff.
It really is.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty then. What do the immigration folks actually look at when you apply? The 3 million yen. But it's not just about having that income right now when you apply, is it?
No, that's a crucial point. It's about consistency. Ideally, you need to show you've maintained that income level or something close to it for the 5 years before you apply.
The same 5 years you needed to be on the work visa.
Generally, yes. Those critical 5 years leading up to the application. A big drop in income during that time, that could be a problem.
So stable earnings are key.
To checking your income records at your city hall before you even think about applying, just to see what your official history looks like.
Good tip. Avoid surprises. And what if you check and, you're not quite hitting that 3 million mark consistently?
Focus on boosting your income, get it stable at that level or higher, and then apply. Don't rush it if the numbers aren't there yet.
Makes sense. Play the long game. Now, what about family? If you have dependents living with you, spouse, kids.
Right, that definitely changes the calculation. If you have dependents in Japan, the expectation is that you'll need a higher annual income to support everyone.
So that 3 million is really just a baseline for a single applicant.
It seems that way. Maybe an extra 300,000 per year for each dependent. An extra 300K per person, that's important to factor in. And crucially, even if only one person in the family is applying for PR, immigration looks at the whole household's financial picture. Can the applicant actually support everyone living here?
That's a really key takeaway. It's about the family unit's stability.
Okay, sticking with work, what about job changes? Do you need to stay with the same company for those 5 years?
Not necessarily, no. Changing jobs during that 5-year period is generally fine. What can be an issue, though, is having long gaps between jobs.
Ah, so unemployment periods.
Okay.
Because that affects income stability.
Exactly. Significant gaps raise questions about consistent income. So the goal should be, smooth transitions if you do change employers, maintain that steady work record.
Okay, continuous employment, even if not with the same company. Got it.
What about travel? Leaving Japan? We all do it sometimes.
Yeah, but you need to be careful here. Being outside Japan for more than 90 consecutive days, 3 months straight, can negatively impact your application.
90 consecutive days. That's the magic number for one trip.
Right. Think of it like breaking your continuous residency period in their eyes. Also, even lots of shorter frequent trips might raise eyebrows.
Why is that?
It could suggest, perhaps, that your main base of life isn't really Japan. Lack of commitment to staying here long term.
I see. It kind of undermines the permanent aspect.
Potentially, yeah. And there's a serious consequence mentioned. If you spend more than 90 days out, especially after you've already been here a while, say 8 years,
Yeah.
you might actually lose those accumulated years towards the 10-year requirement. Yeah. You could have to start the clock all over again.
Wow. Resetting back to zero after 8 years because of one long trip. That's huge. Definitely something to manage carefully.
Absolutely critical.
Okay, let's talk responsibilities. Paying your way. Taxes came up strongly.
Very strongly. Immigration will check your tax payment records for at least the last 2 years before you apply. And they expect everything to be paid fully and on time. No excuses.
Even small delays are bad.
Apparently, yes. Even minor slip-ups can be a negative mark. It's about showing you're reliable.
For most employees, tax is deducted automatically, right? PAYE.
Usually, yeah. If you're a salaried employee, the company handles it, which makes it easier. But if you're self-employed, you have to be super careful, really diligent about making those payments on time.
It's setting up automatic payments.
Yes, good practical tip to avoid forgetting. And it's not just national income tax. It includes your local resident taxes, too. All of it.
Right, the whole tax picture. And it wasn't just taxes, was it? Insurance and pension, too.
Correct. Same deal. They'll check your health insurance and pension contributions, again, for at least the last 2 years, sometimes maybe even 3 years. The rules seem to be getting stricter.
Timely payments are essential there, too.
Absolutely. No gaps, no delays. It builds that picture of a responsible resident fulfilling all their obligations.
And what about dependents again? Do their payment records for insurance and pension matter, even if they're not applying?
Yes, they do. If your spouse or kids are living here, their records are also considered as part of the household's overall compliance. Are they enrolled? Are payments up to date? It all feeds into the assessment.
Okay, so the main applicant is kind of responsible for ensuring the whole family is compliant.
That seems to be the expectation, yes. And related to that, there was a specific point about dependents who work.
Ah, yes, the dependent visa work limit.
Right. If someone on a dependent visa works more than the allowed 28 hours per week or earns over roughly $1.3 million a year, that can actually hurt the main applicant's PR chances.
Why is that?
Because it suggests they might not be primarily dependent anymore. They might need their own proper work visa, and it complicates the assessment of a household situation.
Interesting. It all has to fit together logically. Okay, now for something maybe less obvious, traffic laws.
Causing an accident where you're at fault or running red lights, stuff like that, these violations are considered.
Really? So traffic tickets could actually impact your PR application?
It seems so. Maintaining a clean driving record, or just generally a clean record with the law, contributes to that overall picture of being a responsible, law-abiding resident.
Good reminder that it's not just about finances and immigration paperwork. It's about your conduct overall.
Exactly.
Now, the standard route is that 10-year path we've discussed. An alternative, the point system.
Yes, it did. Point system for highly skilled professionals actually started back in 2012.
Ah, okay, 2012. And what's the gist of that?
It's basically a fast track. It allows people considered highly skilled, think advanced degrees, especially from Japanese universities, high salaries, maybe working in specific fields like IT, to potentially get PR much faster.
How much faster?
Instead of 10 years, maybe in 3 years or even just 1 year of residency if they score enough points. The points are based on things like your education, your work experience, income, age, Japanese ability.
So a totally different calculation based on specific skills and attributes.
Right. It's designed to attract and retain top global talent.
Good to know it exists as another pathway for some people.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's try and summarize the key takeaways. It sounds like you need a stable income, over $3 million, more with dependents, consistent work history, no big gaps.
Right, and meticulous payment of all your taxes, insurance, and pension for at least the last couple of years, for the whole family if they live here.
Plus, being mindful about time spent outside Japan, keep trips under 90 consecutive days, don't make it too frequent. And Obey traffic laws, keep that record clean.
That
We see this point system trying to attract talent, and the world is getting more connected. How might Japan's PR rules, even the standard ones, evolve in the future? Will they adapt further to keep attracting the people they need?
That's a great question. And maybe, for someone seriously looking at PR now, what else besides these core points might be worth researching? Are there other, maybe less common factors that could come into play?
Interesting angles. Something to think about. Thanks for tuning into this deep dive, everyone.